Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here, in which case hit the subscribe button, stick around. Today we're going to be talking about all the ways that you can make the most of your year before university. And this is something a little bit different for my channel because normally I speak about after you get to university and what's happening there. But at this particular moment in time, I know a lot of you are either back at school already or just about to go back to school. And because of that, I wanted to speak to those of you who are going into your 5th or 6th year at high school. You're coming to the end of your school career, you're thinking about going to university next year. What can you do to make the most of the remaining time that you have at school, but also make your application more competitive for when it comes to applying to university? So without further ado, I'm going to get into this. I think there's 5 different things I've noted down here, so let's begin. The first one on my list is probably one of the most obvious and probably the one that you might not want to hear, and that is study. But whether you need to study to get certain grades to get into university, or whether you already have your unconditional offer, make the most of the time that you have to study a wide range of subjects. For the majority of people, school is the only time that you're going to be able to study such a broad range of subjects. Once you go to university, that's you. You're down a certain path, you're only going to be focusing on certain things. Whereas when you're at school, you can take the opportunity now to study things that you might have never thought about doing before. I know for me, I got an unconditional offer for a few universities by the end of 5th year. But I knew that I wanted to stay at school for 6th year because I really loved school, I didn't really want to leave. And even although I did have my unconditional offer, I still threw myself into different studies. I ended up choosing things that were a little bit different, things that I didn't know if I'd be interested in, I didn't really know if I'd be good at them. But because I already had my unconditional offer, the pressure wasn't there. I ended up choosing to do higher history, which I had done at National 5, so I knew I was getting myself in for. But then I chose to do a crash hire in business management. I had never done business management before and I just thought it'd be something that I'd quite enjoy, and it turns out I did. And as well as that, I also ended up doing higher psychology, which wasn't a subject that was offered at our school, but it was a course I did online, and that was something completely different, and that actually really prepared me for online learning and university learning. So if you are sat there, if you have your unconditional offer, make the most of the time that you still have to study and study different things. But on the other hand, if you don't have a university offer yet, that's even more of an incentive for you to throw yourself into your studies. Make the most of it, try and get to where you want to be, and at the end of the day, you're at school to learn, so why not? The second thing that I highly encourage you to do is get involved around your school, especially if you already have an unconditional offer or a condition that you know you're probably going to meet. Make the most of the time to get involved around your school. Join the head prefect team, apply to be head boy, head girl, get involved in house captains. I know that's a big part of Scottish schools. Throw yourself into different clubs, different sport teams, get involved in campaigning, raise some money for charity. Just do what you can to help your school out. For me personally, I applied to be part of the head prefect team and I was chosen to be one of the deputies in my school, and that was great. It gave me a lot of experience. It showed me a different side of the school I'd never really thought about before, and not only that, but it does look great on your university applications. Thirdly, get involved in extracurricular activities. Play a musical instrument, get involved in the school show, join the gardening club, anything that you can. Because at school, although it might not feel like it, you do have quite a lot of spare time on your hands, and you should really harness that, find something that you enjoy. And something that I've learned recently that I found really interesting is that when it comes to applying for universities, a lot of unis will pay a lot more attention to your extracurriculars than what you think. When it comes to accepting and declining offers for future students, a lot of admissions staff want to see that you have an extracurricular hobby. They want to see that when you do come to university, you will get involved in different things rather than just burying your head in your studies. They want to see that you enjoy rugby, that you really are interested in water polo, that you were the lead role in your school play and that's something that you'd like to continue when you move to university. So take this chance, pick up a new hobby, throw yourself even further into something that you already do, and find your little passion project. The The fourth little tip that I have for you is get valuable work experience. As I mentioned, at school you do end up having a lot of free time, especially if you do stay on till 6th year and you're not doing as many subjects, the pressure's off a little bit. Use your free periods to get valuable work experience around the school. I know personally at my school we weren't allowed to leave during our free periods, so we had to stay in the school, but I was still able to use that to my advantage. Obviously, if you've watched my channel before, you know that I studied primary education, so when I was in 6th year I used a lot of my free periods to go into the junior school. I would help out in classes, see different areas, even volunteer at the nursery. I did anything that I could to gain experience, and even although by the time it came to 6th year I'd already had my application accepted for university, I didn't need that work experience to put on anything, but it's something that I wanted to do for myself, because at the end of the day the more experience you can gain, the better. But if you are looking for something to do within the school and teaching isn't really your thing, there are so many other options. You could ask if there's any jobs that are needing done at the reception. If the school has a marketing or advertising department, have a look down there, see if they're wanting any jobs done, and that can also be really helpful. In 6th year, for some reason, I actually ended up spending a lot of time in the marketing department at my school. Don't really know how it happened, but I picked up a lot of useful life skills and I use them now in my job at the university. The one thing that we were allowed out of school to do was volunteering, and because of that I ended up going with a few of the people from my year to Citizens Advice Direct in Glasgow and ended up volunteering there for about a year and a half. I volunteered 6 hours of my week and I was able to learn a lot of valuable life skills through doing that. So have a look around, see if there's any different projects that you can work on in your local area, and if your school is quite strict about letting people out, if they know it's for a volunteering thing or a different cause, they might be more willing to let you out, so keep that in mind. And the final thing on my list is have fun. There is no denying that once you go to university, your life will change. It will not be the same. Especially if you do end up moving out and moving away from home, it's going to be different. Your time at school is perhaps the most stress-free time in terms of looking after yourself and keeping yourself alive. For the majority of people, you will be living at home with parents or grandparents or carers, people that really care a lot about you, and because of that, they'll probably do a lot of your day-to-day tasks. I know personally when I was at school, I didn't have to worry about cooking for myself, cleaning, doing the washing, anything like that. And right now, if you're in the same position that I was, definitely make the most of it. And by that, I don't mean take it to the absolute extreme. I don't mean leave stuff everywhere for your mum to come and tidy up after you. But take advantage of you, your mental health, your friendships and your studies being your top priorities. Because once you move to university, they all bump down a bit and all of a sudden keeping yourself alive is at the top, and that takes up a lot of time. If this is your last year of school and you're looking forward to going into university, into college, into the workforce, have fun. Make time for your friends, make time for your family, make time for your studies. At the end of the day, this is probably one of the last years that you can be like an actual child, so make the most of it, just have a laugh. And with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments, are you in your last year of school? What are you doing right now? What are your plans after? Are you wanting to go to university? Let me know. Let's have a chat down below in the comments. And as I said at the start of this video, if you're not already subscribed, please do. And on that note, I am away. See you later. Bye!